Have you ever sat in a quiet room and wondered why retirement feels different than you imagined? For years, people told you retirement would be freedom. No alarm clock. No boss. No rush hour traffic. No one telling you where to be. But what they did not tell you is that sometimes, after the busy years are over, the house can feel a little too quiet. The mornings can feel a little too long. And the days can start to blend together in a way nobody warned you about. Maybe you have felt this too. Maybe you have stood in the kitchen with a cup of coffee in your hand, looking out the window, wondering, what am I supposed to do with this part of my life? And here is the part nobody talks about. Retirement is not just about stopping work. It is about learning how to live again. Not as the worker. Not as the parent who had to fix everything. Not as the person everyone depended on every hour of the day. But as you. A person who still matters. A person who still has stories to tell. A person who still has mornings to enjoy, people to love, and peace to protect. And by the end of this video, you may look at your own retirement a little differently. Because sometimes, the smallest change after 60 can bring back peace. The first life hack is simple, but many seniors discover it too late. Do not let your day begin empty. When you worked, your day had a shape. You knew when to wake up. You knew when to leave. You knew when lunch happened. You knew when the day was over. But in retirement, time can become loose. At first, that feels wonderful. Then one day, you wake up and realize you have no plan at all. That is when the mind can start wandering into old regrets, old worries, and quiet loneliness. So give your morning a small routine. Not a strict schedule. Not pressure. Just a gentle rhythm. Wake up. Make your bed. Open the curtains. Drink water. Step outside for a few minutes if you can. Call one person. Read something peaceful. Take a short walk around the block, the yard, or even inside your home. It may sound too simple, but it tells your mind, I am still here. This day still belongs to me. Before you ignore this, think about your own life for a moment. How many days feel better when they begin with purpose? It does not have to be a big purpose. Sometimes purpose is watering the plants. Sometimes purpose is feeding the dog. Sometimes purpose is writing down one thing you are thankful for. A retired teacher in Ohio once said the hardest part of retirement was not missing her paycheck. It was missing the bell. The bell told her where to go next. So she made her own bell. Every morning at 8:30, she made tea, sat by the window, and wrote one paragraph about her life. At first, it felt silly. A year later, she had written memories her grandchildren had never heard. That is not just a routine. That is a legacy. The second life hack is this. Protect your circle, even if it becomes smaller. After 60, many people learn a painful truth. Some relationships were built around work. Some were built around convenience. Some fade when you are no longer the person solving everyone's problems. That can hurt. But it can also teach you something important. A smaller circle is not always a sad thing. Sometimes, it is a peaceful thing. One good friend who checks on you is worth more than 10 people who only call when they need something. So do not wait for everyone else to reach out first. Make the call. Send the message. Invite someone for coffee. Ask a neighbor how they are doing. Go to the senior center once, even if you feel shy. Join a church group, a library class, a walking group, or a local volunteer activity. You do not need a crowd. You need connection. And connection is not always loud. Sometimes it is two people sitting on a porch, talking about the weather, the old days, and what hurts a little less today. But the real reason is deeper than most people think. Loneliness does not always mean being alone. Sometimes loneliness means feeling unseen. That is why even one honest conversation can change a whole week. The third life hack is to simplify before life forces you to. This one is not glamorous, but it brings peace. Many seniors spend years surrounded by things they no longer use, papers they no longer understand, drawers full of old batteries, closets full of clothes that do not fit, and boxes their children may one day have to sort through with heavy hearts. You do not have to throw away your life. That is not what this means. Your home holds memories. Your things tell stories. But peace often begins when you make your space easier to live in. Start small. One drawer. One shelf. One stack of papers. One closet. Keep what matters. Let go of what only adds weight. Put important phone numbers in one place. Keep a list of medications, emergency contacts, and important documents somewhere easy to find. Tell someone you trust where things are. This is not about fear. It is about kindness. Kindness to yourself. Kindness to the people who love you. A widower in Arizona once said he did not realize how much stress he carried until he cleaned out the garage. Not because the garage mattered, but because every box reminded him of something unfinished. When he finally donated what he did not need, he said the house felt like it could breathe again. Maybe your heart needs that too. The fourth life hack is to stop saving joy for special occasions. Many older adults grew up being careful. Careful with money. Careful with food. Careful with emotions. Careful with dreams. They save the good dishes for company. They save the nice sweater for church. They save the special cookies for guests. They save joy for later. But here is what many seniors discover too late. Later is not promised. That does not mean you should be reckless. It means you should stop treating ordinary days like they do not count. Use the good mug. Wear the shirt you like. Sit in the sunshine. Buy the flowers once in a while. Make your favorite meal, even if it is just for you. Play the music that takes you back. Dance in the kitchen if your knees allow it. And if your knees do not allow it, tap your hand on the table and smile anyway. Life after 60 is not only about being safe. It is also about being alive. There is a difference. One grandmother in Georgia started making Sunday dinner again after her husband passed. At first she said, "What is the point? It is just me." Then one Sunday, she cooked anyway. She made cornbread, greens, and chicken the way her mother taught her. She set the table for one. And halfway through the meal, she cried. Not because she was sad. Because she remembered she was still worth cooking for. Maybe someone listening today needs to hear that. You are still worth the effort, even when no one is watching. The fifth life hack is to ask for help before you are desperate. This can be hard, especially if you were raised to be strong. Many seniors spent their lives helping everyone else. You raised children. You worked long hours. You fixed problems. You carried pain quietly. So when you need help, it can feel uncomfortable. It can feel like losing independence. But asking for help does not mean you are weak. It means you are wise enough to know that life was never meant to be carried alone. Ask your son to explain the phone settings. Ask your daughter to help you compare something confusing. Ask a neighbor to move the heavy box. Ask your doctor general questions when something does not feel right. Ask a trusted person before signing anything you do not understand. Ask for a ride instead of pretending you are fine when you are too tired. There is no shame in needing people. The shame would be suffering in silence, while people who love you would gladly help if they knew. And this is the part nobody talks about. Sometimes your family does not ignore you because they do not care. Sometimes they think you are okay because you have spent years acting like you are. So be honest. Not dramatic. Not angry. Just honest. Say, "I could use a little help with this." Say, "I have been feeling lonely lately." Say, "Can you sit with me for a while?" That one sentence may open a door that pride kept closed for years. The sixth life hack may be the most important. Do not let age steal your identity. You are not just retired. You are not just older. You are not just someone's mother, father, grandmother, grandfather, neighbor, or widow. You are a whole person. You have survived things younger people may never understand. You have made mistakes and learned from them. You have loved people, lost people, forgiven people, started over more than once. You have history in your hands, and wisdom in your silence. But after a certain age, the world can start speaking to you like you are invisible. At the store, at the doctor's office, sometimes even at family gatherings. People may talk around you instead of to you. They may assume you do not understand technology. They may assume your best years are behind you. Do not believe that. Your life is not over because it looks different now. Different does not mean finished. This chapter may be quieter, but quiet chapters can still be meaningful. You can still learn something new. You can still forgive someone. You can still make a friend. You can still laugh until your eyes water. You can still become softer without becoming weaker. You can still become peaceful without giving up. Retirement is not about disappearing. It is about choosing what deserves your energy now. Not every argument deserves you. Not every worry deserves you. Not every memory should be allowed to control your day. Protect your peace like it is something valuable. Because it is. So maybe the real retirement life hack is not just saving time, organizing papers, or making routines. Maybe the real hack is learning to treat your own life with care. To wake up and say, I still matter. To look at your home and say, I can make this easier. To look at your phone and say, I can call someone. To look at your past and say, I learned from it, but I do not have to live there. And to look at tomorrow and say, there may still be something good waiting for me. Maybe you needed that reminder today. Maybe someone you love needs it too. Because retirement is not one single feeling. Some days it is peaceful. Some days it is lonely. Some days it is beautiful. Some days it is heavy. But you are allowed to build a life that fits who you are now. Not who you used to be. Not who others expect you to be. Who you are now. And that person is still worthy of joy. Still worthy of respect. Still worthy of friendship. Still worthy of new memories. So start small. Tomorrow morning, open the curtains. Take a slow breath. Do one thing that brings order. One thing that brings connection. One thing that brings peace. And one thing that reminds you that your life is still yours. Because sometimes, the smallest change after 60 can bring back peace. And sometimes, one gentle decision can make an ordinary day feel meaningful again. If this message touched your heart, subscribe to Senior Life Chronicles. And in the comments, tell us one lesson life taught you after 60. Your story may help someone else feel less alone. And if you know a senior, a parent, a grandparent, or a friend who needs to hear this today, share it with them. Because no one should feel invisible in the years when they have the most wisdom to give.